Hi all, today I'm going to cover my summary of analysis of the Mann Gulch fire tragedy. I'll discuss my key assessment of why the disaster happened and then my proposed reform and how it would prevent a repeat. We'll jump in with some key facts of the report. So first off, we know that this was a high level of risk, low level of preparation operation. The crew was unfortunately lacking in adequate fire training techniques, lacking in adequate professional relationships for the high intensity work. They had limited tools as well. There were ethical lapses, unfortunately, that led to disaster in many areas. We hear about the crew being sent with no maps, decisions being made to drop the crew without adequate access to emergency resources, and so on. We also hear there was a lack of organization, two leaders leading the group with ineffective leadership techniques that caused the crew to become lost and confused. There was a lack of trust as well. The crew did not trust their leader enough to pay attention to the instructions that he was giving them in a dire moment. There were also a lack of policies and procedures in place that systemically affected the success of this operation, namely issues with transportation, no tracking system or communication system to ensure the smoke jumpers made it out okay. There were also inadequate funding, lack of defined or detailed plans, tools, or team. Looking at ethics, what I would suggest is employing a code of ethics. This would be modeled off of ASPA's code of ethics, and ideally, it would pledge some compliance to a set of promises aimed at ensuring safety of all staff and citizens. Going forward, this would allow the employees, the organization, the citizens all to be aware of the prioritization of the organization and really hold that organization accountable as well. For human resources, I would suggest establishing a thorough training program that focuses on personnel development, varied firefighting techniques, and crisis response. Ideally, this would improve the outcome for future units by ensuring the smoke jumpers develop some trusting relationships with the crew for better communication and coordination, but also ensuring that they feel stronger integration and motivation as well. I would also suggest implementing a standard investigation procedure. Ideally, that includes several levels of checks to ensure that investigators are not given the ability to skew the narrative. Looking at leadership, there was a lack of leadership training or accountability that led to disaster. So I would definitely instill some training tailored to equip leaders with awareness of the significance of cultivating meaningful relationships with their team and prioritizing team development. We can hope that a leadership program that incorporates things like organizational understanding, team development, and crisis response will ensure a more positive outcome, bearing some support from the organization. Looking at policy and budgeting next, there's definitely a necessity for policies that are currently not in place, namely tracking emergency teams and ensuring that communication methods are maintained, or rescue missions are sent immediately in the chance that communication methods fail. Clear communication would be a priority for any agency, hopefully that employs personnel in such high-risk safety positions. I would also suggest an efficiency assessment to focus on whether the money and resources put towards the program are well spent. If they find that there are funds that are available to spend, I would suggest they focus their reallocation of budget on enhancing communication support and protocols, and then any remaining budget definitely on extension of training time or resources, and in continued scientific research of forest fires and development of tools to fight fires. In conclusion, several reforms are needed to address the systemic failures outlined by the Mann Gulch tragedy. This includes the establishment of a code of ethics, an enhanced training program, clear leadership expectations, and a thorough policy analysis.